since you tried to break the habit. I changed my mind. Now I can have it. Make me feel alive.
Welcome back. What is going on with my hair back here? My hair needs to be washed, like seriously. It is full of dry shampoo right now, and yeah. So I am getting ready to go to the gym at the moment. I'm just finishing my stomach tea because I have been super stressed out, moving, dealing with bullshit at work, and but I wanted to come on and film a video this week because it has been so long since I caked a ton of makeup on myself, and let's face it, I don't feel like myself without this cake. I wanted to do kind of a fall makeup look. I mean, fall is here, right? I live in Florida, so we don't really get a fall. Let me stop babbling and let's get into the tutorial because I need to hit the gym. I have been moving and have been out of the gym for like the longest time, and I'm really trying to get back to the gym so I can get my shape back, you know? If you guys want to see how I achieved this fall inspired beginning of fall September look, just keep watching. So I'm going to start by priming my eyelids with the Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer, and I'm just patting this in all over my eyelids, and then I'm going to set it with a little translucent powder. Next I'm going to do my eyebrows with this Brow Sense from Senegens, and I'm just brushing it into my brows. It has a little spoolie on the other end, and I'm really just going to fill in my brows and shape them how I like them, and this is in the color taupe. Next, I'm going to clean up my brows using this Wonder Pencil from NYX. You know, I got to get them brows on fleek, and I'm literally just tracing around my brows so they can be nice and sharp. You can do this with concealer. I'm just going to blend it in with a concealer brush. Really, any concealer will work for this, but it will get your brows nice and sharp. I love this technique. And to set them and keep them in place, I'm just going to use a little bit of clear brow gel. So starting my eyes with some tape so I can get a nice crisp line, I'm using my Naked 2 palette, and I'm starting with the color Tease and this fluffy blending brush. And this is going to be my transition shade, so I'm just going to go in there and get it nice and soft in that crease. Now I'm taking this dark brown color, and this is actually from Wet n Wild, and I'm just going in with a smaller brush, and I'm going to blend this into the corner and then softly blend it up into the inner corner, but more concentrated on the outer corner. Then I'm going to use this gorgeous golden color for the eyelid, and I'm spritzing my brush with a little Fix Plus just so I can get it nice and pigmented, and I'm just going to rub this all over the lid. Now I'm blending Chopper between that gold and my transition just so it's a nice smooth transition. And for liner, I'm using this cream liner from e.l.f. in the color Coffee. Their cream liners are so bomb, and they're like $1 or $2. They're so good. And I'm only going to be lining half of my eye, taking the tape off, and then I'm just going to fix it up on the corner there. And then I'm going to go in with Busted and set that liner with Busted. I just like how it makes it a little more softer and gives it a little bit of a different color. It makes it a little more pearl. Then I'm taking this white cream color and just buffing it right under the brow bone to make it nice and light. And taking my favorite makeup wipes, I'm just going to clean off my face from any fallout and sharpen up that eyeliner. And I'm priming my face with this coconut primer from Too Faced. This is really great if you have dry skin. And I'm mixing a little bit of this NYX illuminator into my foundation. You can see I put them both on the back of my hand. And I'm just using the back of a brush to mix them together. Now, I'm only going to use this on the areas of my face that I would normally highlight or that I would want to be a little more dewy. So I'm using it under my eyes, like on my cheekbones. I'm also going to use a little on my chin and some on the sides of my forehead. So just select areas. So now I'm just going in with just my foundation in the other areas that I haven't gotten yet with that mixture. And I really don't like this foundation. It doesn't match me, but I got it at my spa. It's our brand, so I'm not going to mention the name. So I'm using a big stippling brush for my foundation, but in those like smaller areas, I'm going in with a regular foundation brush and just perfecting everything and tapping out any spots, putting a little extra on any spots I felt needed it. I'm using this Becca Under Eye Brightener under my eyes. I always like to color correct because I have dark circles under my eyes. And then I'm using this Glamouflage concealer from Hard Candy, and I'm applying that all under the under eye as well. And I'm just going to finish blending that in and smoothing it out with a beauty sponge. This one is from TJ Maxx and it's just on the end of a brush handle. And I'm setting that all with my Tarte loose powder. And to finish highlighting, I'm going to do a bit on my forehead and then I'm going to contour my nose. And I'm using this Morphe M440. This is like the perfect little brush for doing a nose contour, and I'm just dragging it down my nose and on top of my lip, and then using a little bit of the leftover that was on the back of my hand on my chin, and I'm just again blending that all out with the sponge besides my nose. I don't want to disturb that line. For my nose highlight, I'm blending it in with that same 440 brush. So for the contour on my nose, I'm using a dark concealer from NYX. This is one of their HD concealers. And I'm literally just tracing it up against the lines of the highlight and then a little across the tip and the bottom of the nose. And then with that same brush again, I'm going to go in and blend it. And every time I go down that dark line, I'm wiping my brush off so I can wipe product off. I feel like a good nose contour is like the hardest thing to do. Does anybody else feel like that's like the hardest part of their face? I'm just going to set all my highlight areas with a translucent powder. Again, this is the Tarte loose powder, and then I'm going to set the rest of my face with this Physicians Formula Matchmaker powder. And this is in my shade, I believe this is shade 2. And I'm just going to set that everywhere else on the face besides the highlighted parts because I don't want to ruin the lightness. Next, I'm going to contour, and I'm going in with this light shade and hugging against the contour on my nose just to make it a little more snatched. And then I'm taking the darker color, this is the lighter of the three colors, and I'm going to start to bronze up my cheeks and my forehead with it. Next, I'm going in with that darker color and an angled blush brush, and I'm really going to carve out my cheekbones. I'm also going to darken around my hairline and just under my chin as well. So this is more my contouring, and the lighter shade was more bronzing my face. Taking Too Faced blush in the color Baby Love. I love this color, it's so pretty. And I'm just applying that right above the contour on the cheeks. And oh my god, this highlighter is life. This is one of the Color Pop highlighters, and this is in the shade Spoon, and this is actually a big eyeshadow brush that I'm packing it on with because I want it to be really shiny and I really want it to pop. Now to finish my under eyes, I'm going back in with Tease from Urban Decay on a pencil brush, and I'm just smudging this right under the waterline. Next, I'm taking that dark brown color from my liner, and I'm just applying that right under. So I've had this pigment forever. It's from Sephora. I don't even know what it's called, and I put a little bit of liquid sugar on my brush. This is like to hold on glitter, but I really want it to pop. So I am just packing it on under in the corner of my eye and on top. And then going back in with my highlighter, I'm just popping a little on the inner corners and a little just under the brow bone. And of course, can't forget about them lashes. Just curling them and adding a little Better Than Sex mascara. And I'm using the Siren Lashes by House of Lashes today. And after I get the lashes on, I like to put another coat of mascara and pinch them together just so they really mesh together and look nice and natural. And for my lips, I'm using one of my favorite liquid lipsticks. This is Beeper from ColourPop Cosmetics. And that's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I will be uploading some more looks soon, and I will see you next time.